Hi. Hello, 347, channel 347, coming in from Runnymede. Um, just thought, a quick one, right? First thing is, all these trailers that I'm doing uh, from Runnymede, um, are only going on to YouTube, and I've got to delete them from my Android. It's because I've got no space and I'm not using a computer, I'm just using an Android phone to do all my videos and preliminary film work and everything, and also the advertising and all that shit. And so I don't know how long I'll last live because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing here, and I think I might be when they discover what I'm doing, they might delete some of the channels so that those things will no longer exist once they do that, and they might end on Facebook too. And the other thing I wanted to just mention at the moment is one of the characters. The characters I gave you this morning. Introduction was Sergeant Detective Don Aliana Ioana. Okay, so that's just an introduction to his character. The one I'm just going to kind of touch on is his other, if you want to think of it like this, is his alter ego, his other half, his end of the poles, his negative to his positive. It's the way of seeing it. And his name is, well, I've kind of introduced him before. He's kind of like famous for, you wouldn't believe it, but he's famous for the line. This is where I fuck up, right? I totally fuck up because, to jump from one character to another is difficult, and this one's like got a certain, it's got a certain style that, takes. I'm not an actor, so I'm just getting into it. But it's that one, the De Niro one, right? And it goes something like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Seriously, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Is this guy joking or something? You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. You fucking kidding me? Why don't you fucking take a seat? I'm gonna tell you fucking something. Damo. That's the character. His name, because I really have to have the audience for that one. And we have no audience here at the moment. Not the audience, but the part, right, that goes with the character. So the part that goes with that character is the part that's, don't get it, right? And that's the character that De Niro, took on when he did films like Mean Street. And so what I'm doing is stepping into the place of this character because he has a reason for being here. Just like, all the characters in the film have a reason for being where they are. And some of them are a bit strange, to begin with. Including, the Sergeant Detective. And that's going to be explained. But you see, in any one film, there's more than one character, right? So this is the other half of the one part of the set, because there's a whole set of characters, and of which LeFou is the author. Okay, he's the author of the characters, and LeFou will pop in and out. It's like, but the Boss Deliri is the name of the guy who I mentioned, the Boss Deliri. He's the Boss Deliri is the mafioso man from the south of the Latin Napoleonic line, the family from the mountains and the hills, right? Okay. He's an archetype character in a film. His archetype, and his story is really that they went to sleep a while ago, right? Those families, and if you think that's the end of the families, then think again, because they went to sleep for a reason. Because fucking deals, they were fucking done. And if you want a fucking true history, you have to go back a long way. The Basileris, as I say, and you gotta ask a question, right? Before you fucking go, You know, you gotta fucking ask a question, right? You really fucking gotta ask a question. And this is the question I'm gonna give you, because the Basilarian knows something. Okay, this is not a very good example, but he knows a fucking thing about a fucking fire, right? The Basilarian know a fucking thing about a fucking fire. You gotta get this one into your fucking mind, okay? So why don't you just take a fucking seat, shut the fuck up, for once in your flaming fuck. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so you gotta ask yourself, right, before I say any more about this fucking character, why? Why he's sitting on a hill in a triangle between two other very key points in geographics of English history. And I'm not gonna go any further, except you gotta ask why he sits in a triangle between 2 points right now, the Basilarian. Because he's a character in a film. Okay, he's now, how important a character in a film becomes is how big the film becomes. Because he's right in the right fucking place. Okay? That's the Basilarian, essentially. It's a fucking just tiny essential, right? There's a lot fucking more to Basilarian. And he ain't nothing like the Sergeant. Because the Sergeant's, you know, and you know, you gotta work out also that these characters represent like points at which, you know, spring forth new characters. So, you know, out of whom, which also begs another question, who the characters that really are. Because there's no doubt about it that both of these characters represent something quite interesting to civilization in general. And they're archetypes in a group of characters that might stick quite well with each other, especially when there's a guy called LeFou with the Remington. See, I'm going on too long, but you know what I mean? It's like, this is not simple to kind of explain, because there's lots of things going on here. And, you know, if you want a detective story, if you like detective stories, you're gonna get one here. You're gonna get a detective story, because detectives don't do fucking stuff without a story going on. And there's a story here which is gonna unravel as we go along. Because not only is the Basilarian an interesting place, so is the detective, because he comes from a kind of bloodline which has been going for quite a while now. He's also, his name is kind of derivative of some quite interesting authors in the past. And, you know, again, you have to ask yourself who the fuck I'm talking about. And unless you know what I'm talking about, you haven't got a fucking clue what I'm talking about. But I am going to explain it in the long term. Oh. Anyway, so I got carried away there, as I do. I think I'm going to do one on my interests soon. Seems to be a popular thing to do. See you later.